YouTube.
Hey YouTube, it's us again, Jamie,
Sarah.
of Bullets.
And Bows.
And on today's vlog, we're going to talk about something a little more
Intimate. We are here to talk about
period management.
menstruation. Yep, we are.
It's happening right now, right here. So if you are a guy...
I thought you were talking about me.
Oh!
Well, it might be. It is.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that later.
So yes, if you are not interested in this topic, maybe it doesn't pertain to you, but...
If you have a woman in your life, it might be good for you to know a little bit of what they're going through and the struggles and options that they may have out in the field or out in the backcountry or out on a day hike if they are on their period.
Right. So sit back, relax, and we're going to talk to you about periods.
Dun dun dun.
Okay. So, Sarah, you want to start off?
I will. Why don't we talk about what we have experienced being out and about, being on our period. So mine, it seems like almost every time, not quite, but almost every time I'm out on a hunt, especially a backcountry hunt where we pack everything in for days, I always have my period. Does not matter what I do. I'm very unlucky in that nature. So, you know, being a woman, when you're on your period, you have the hormones, you're fatigued, and then now you have to deal with how to take care of the bleeding. So, you have had a very recent experience.
Yeah, so when we were hiking the Maatahi Trail, we had, I don't know, maybe like 3 miles left
To get to the river.
to get to the
camp.
river,
Mhm.
right? And I knew I was gonna be starting my period. I had brought things, you know, like supplies in case I did, while on the hike, and pretty much the only wide open flat terrain, nowhere to squat or clean up, like no privacy. I started my period and I just pretended that it wasn't happening and I ignored it, and it was not a pleasant experience. Just hiking along and just fatigued, crampy. I felt exhausted and just kind of miserable, but yeah, it was so bad that
And you were free bleeding on it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I had nothing to really protect me during that time. So yeah, it was kind of a hot mess. Ew. Anyways, literally. But I quite literally had blood going into my socks, and it was quite the experience. So yeah.
If you can power through that, you can definitely, do not let your period stop you.
Yeah.
Now, I know some women, they have very, very painful periods. So if that's you, obviously, you take care of you. If you don't feel like you can go, then don't. But if you really want to do something in the outdoors, don't let it stop you. So we are here to talk about what we have found works for us and how you can take care of it all. So we'll start off with when you're outdoors, you really don't have anywhere to wash your hands, and you still want to be clean, especially when you're dealing with all of that before and after. So you can use a hand sanitizer. If you are hunting, you may want to find, something unscented. You can also use baby wipes, not only to wipe off your hands, but also to wipe down under if needed, depending on the type of period product you're using. Again, you can make sure that they're fragrance-free if you're out hunting. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, and they have more compact brands of baby wipes, like Wilderness wipes are what I use usually. They're about like half the size, and they don't have like a plastic thing on top. and I found that those work really well, and they're not scented, and they're like for sensitive skin. You can get them at like Sportsman's Warehouse is where I think I got them from. So.
And what I've done before too is I've taken my regular unscented baby wipes, and you can put them in a Ziploc bag to carry them. If you're backpacking in, what I've had to do before is I'll dry them out, and then I'll pack them in dry so they're lighter, and then I will rehydrate them, if you will, with a little bit of water, and then use them. So that's another option for you too. So depending on the type of product you're using, what we're going to talk about first are your basic, pads, panty liners. These are pretty self-explanatory. Whatever you pack in with you, you need to pack out. You can't bury it, you can't leave it. Pack everything out. So an option you have is using Ziploc bags. We have a quart size and then a gallon, depending on how long you're going to be out and what type of products you're using. If you're using pads, you're going to need a bigger bag probably, rather than using compact tampons.
They say that, oh, this product is biodegradable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that might be the case, but just know that some plastics can take hundreds of years to decompose.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they're biodegradable, but in how many years? So looking for the longevity, I mean, animals could get a hold of the plastic and choke, littering. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. So just be mindful, and that whole leave things as you found them, or better than you found them. Just wanting to contribute to that conservation part of things, and you don't need to leave your mark on the outdoors in that way.
Yep. Yeah.
Or like in this way.
What I found helpful too is using compact tampons, not the full size, only to, save space. Those are nice.
If some people don't wear tampons because they're painful, or they just are more comfortable with pads, and vice versa. Some people really don't like pads and they wear, tampons pretty much, like throughout their cycle. Whatever works best for you, and you know your body better than anybody else. So just be mindful of that. So when you're prepping for a hunt, just like you would make sure you have the right ammo for your gun, make sure you have the right supplies for your vagina.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
really. And you know what? In my pack at all times, I have a couple of compact tampons, because you never know what could happen. I mean,
right.
They're not only good for your period, but if someone, you need to plug a wound, I mean, not trying to be funny, but
No, honestly,
good.
stick it up your nose, wherever.
Nosebleed, yeah. Someone has, like a big puncture wound, you have that. So with packing your trash out, your used menstrual items, pack them out in a Ziploc bag would be the easiest. If you're going with a group of people and you don't want to be pulling out like a used bloody bag, put duct tape over it. And then no one or you don't have to, see what is in it.
Let your creativity flow.
Gosh. All right, moving on
Yes.
to the next type of product that I am completely in love with, a menstrual cup.
Yes.
Many of you have probably heard of them. It took me a long time to try it, but I absolutely love them. They're a lot better for the environment, and they are saving me a ton of money rather than having to buy pads and tampons. Plus, I kind of had a really scary thing happen. Really, it freaked me out with a tampon. So I will never use a tampon again unless I absolutely have to. 100%. So we're going to talk about a cup. The first cup we're going to talk about is one that you can buy like at Walmart, Walgreens,
Target,
wherever. It is the Diva cup. They all come with a cool little bag, I guess, to store it in. And this is the actual cup. They are cleaned. I boiled them all before we came, so don't be grossed out. This is the cup. It's a silicone cup. It comes with a little stem that I actually had cut off. So the Diva cup runs about, $25 roughly. This is an option that a lot of people can just go to their store and grab. You have a Diva cup as well.
Yep, and you can find them on Amazon as well, so that's kind of convenient. Actually, all of these products you can find anything on Amazon, but
Right.
especially the menstrual cups, there's a ton of options on there. So
And
you know,
there are a ton of reviews too on YouTube about actually using them. We're not going to get into that now, but the Diva cup is one option. I have tried multiple ones. Another one I've tried, it's called the Femi cup. It comes in a package like that, or a holder like that, and I got the one where it actually comes with 2 different sizes. So it has one, and they're a little wet still from boiling them, but you have one for a low cervix and one for a regular cervix. The cool thing about these is it's like a no spill. So when you pull it out, it doesn't spill. Whatever is in here will stay in here till you lift it up, and then you can pour it out. And then you have the 2, and it has a little bit of a loop rather than a stem to grab.
and that's made of like a silicone material.
Yep, they're all made of medical grade silicone.
So it's safe to be in your body
Yes.
over 8 hours or whatever.
Yeah, all of them, they say you can leave them in for 12. So really, you'd only have to, unless you're really heavy, but you'd only have to take it out in the morning whenever you wake up and before you go to bed.
Right.
The third and final cup that I'm going to talk about is the one that I'm currently using, like right now.
Like right now.
My favorite, it is my favorite, is called the Salt cup.
SAALT.
Yep. I like it the best. It's very, very similar to the Diva cup in the shape. For whatever reason, I like the way that it fits, it feels. Yeah, it's my favorite. I got it on Amazon, and it runs about $28, I think. The other thing I'm going to talk about too is a cup wash. Now, I don't take this out with me if I'm out in the backcountry or anything, because I'm not going to carry it around. You can rinse it out with water perfectly fine. You can do that your entire cycle. If I'm at home though, I do use a cup wash. And then I also boil them for about 5 minutes or so before and after every cycle. And then I just store it in the bag. I like using the cup outdoors because all you have to worry about is rinsing it out, and you just dump the contents in a little hole and you're good to go.
Right. And they can hold actually a lot more than a tampon.
Oh,
can.
yes, a lot.
I mean, yes, this is like more just like the compact size, but like really 2-3 millimeters, 2 to 3 milliliters. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's getting full. I think a lot of the capacities are like 6. I want to say 4 to 6 on a lot of tampons and pads as well.
Yep.
But I think on those, they go higher than that. So that really does allow you not to worry about it. Quite the same, and you really don't.
Yeah,
What's that one?
the Diva cup can hold 15
Yeah.
milliliters, which I think is average for most menstrual cups.
If you have a heavy flow, I don't think you'll use 15 milliliters worth necessarily.
Not normally, no. And I mean, my periods are really screwy, but having a very, very heavy flow, for me, I love the cup. I will say the thing is, though, if you do it, you have to commit to it. So you have to practice with it. You're going to hate it at first. You will probably hate it, but use it cycle after cycle after cycle. Wear a panty liner if you need to, which I would recommend whenever you first use it. Or if you've tried a cup in the past but you want to try another kind, wear a panty liner in case. But I highly recommend them. So I love them for out in the backcountry. And
Yeah, it's nice to like even if you were swimming or
Yep.
something like that. Tampons, they can, things can get up in there and can fill your tampon quicker
yeah.
than you normally would on your cycle.
Yeah. Or if you're going to the bathroom, like if you're peeing, how many times have you peed on your tampon string?
Right.
Really? Or if you're having a bowel movement, I mean,
Right.
You know, you normally have to take it out because you're bearing down and you have to change a new one. So I highly recommend the menstrual cup. If anyone has any questions, I mean, reach out to us and we can go into more detail
Yep.
about it. And
Like we said, there's different sizes. Like the Diva Cup has 3 different sizes.
Yep.
So if you're worried, if you're like a virgin, you don't want things going up in places, and that's kind of like a weird like experience or thought. They have like the size 0 or level 0, I think it's called. It's narrower, so it's not quite as intrusive, I guess,
Right,
as you
right.
might think. Or even if you're just wanting to try a menstrual cup the first time, maybe it's trying like a thinner or like a narrower one first, and then you can kind of gauge where you're at. Or like
if you're really petite too,
Yeah.
you know, or
Yep.
young. So if you're like 13, 14, 15, you know,
right,
something smaller. Keep in mind though that they may look really big, but they will fit. They mold to your body. So don't be too alarmed if you're like, holy crap. I mean, they really mold to your body. You can't feel them if you have them in right.
right. Yeah, the first time I opened up a Diva Cup, I was freaking out. I'm like, how the heck is this supposed to come in this? You know, it was a weird notion. There's different ways to fold it too. You know, that makes them very like compact. And then, like we said, it's like a very flexible silicone material. Most of the Diva or most of the menstrual cups are, and they seal. They like
They
don't know.
create a suction
Yeah.
around, like in your vagina. And that helps to pull and contain all of the bleeding. The Femi cup, though, is one that does not completely seal. So, but it still, for whatever reason, it doesn't seal, but that's the way it's designed. Yeah. So,
Awesome. Is there anything that you guys use out in the field that maybe is different than what we have? Do you have any suggestions, or is there anything that you think we should try? Let us know.
yeah.
So make sure to comment down below if you liked our video. Give us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Action.
Hello,
Hello.
YouTube.
One, 2, 3.
Are we doing it at the same
Hello.
time?
No, I don't know.
I feel like I don't have any lips.
Well, slap them suckers on. Would you rather have no lips and really bushy eyebrows, or no eyebrows and really hairy lips?
Neither.
You have to pick.
The first one.
Bushy eyebrows and no lips.
Yeah, because you can pluck the bushy eyebrows and then you
nope,
can draw on
they
lip.
just keep coming back.
I don't want a hairy lip.
Hey, there's movements these days. Then you can always say, I must ask you a question. You wouldn't look bad.
Thanks.
Indubitably. Oh,
So
let's
excited
talk
about
it.
Oh my.
Ew.
Okay. I can't. Okay.
This is what happens when you work together.
When you sync up.
And you're synced up, literally. Okay. Nope.
You can use hand sanitizer. If you're hunting, you may want to try to find something that doesn't.
Please
apologize.
silence your cell phones.
Sorry. And I'm recovering from a cold. I'm a little extra throaty today. Okay, so